Sorry guys, stick with me if you're here. I just need to make sure of a couple things. As long as we are live on YouTube. Let's see. I want to get my dual stream working, and we may have done just that. Let me see. There we go. Boom, shakalaka, as the kids say. A cuckoo cuckoo. Alright, let me. Boom. Let's see how the comment section works. We got a multi stream comment section. We have a YouTube comment section. So, I guess we'll see what happens when people start coming in. So, I'm gonna start playing. I gotta try to get comfortable here too. This sucks. Give me just a second. All right, this is doable. I'm not sure where I left off here. Let me hop over to multi-stream and we'll see. Actually, I can. I'll do it so you can see it, but I should be able to comment on both, and we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna leave a comment. So pow, and then we will jump over to the Ghost Malone Facebook page. Let's see, that is not the live video. Where's the live video? Here we go. Let's pop one in here. Yeah, let's go there. Alright, so let's pop out of these now and let's see what happens. So we got multi-stream. It's showing here so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Let's a little look behind the curtains. Into the, and of course nothing's gonna frame right. But we got multi-stream, and the YouTube video didn't work though. So I closed it. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube again. Just real quick, and then I'm gonna hop back into the game. But I gotta figure out. So it obviously worked. Let's reply to my reply. Queequee. Queequee's a good comment. Looks like it's not showing YouTube comments. Even when but okay. Uh it's all good though because most of my content is on Facebook. So in fact almost 100% of my viewership is. So as long as I'm archiving the data in. Wow, why do I there, jeez Louise. Um so Atlas Prime is what I'm trying to get, and it is an Axie Fisher. Let's get a soda. We're having a big barbecue outside, as I'm sure most people are. By the way, happy 4th of July, everyone. This game's kind of boring and a little slow, but once I figure out, I think Neuroptics is what I need. So I need A9, and I have 4. So I can pop a couple of these, and I got a 4A6, and I have, okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's upgrade a couple more. I think I should actually pop these before I make more, just in case, but make sure I'm in a, okay, cool. Didn't want to start when I'm in a one of my underleveled frames, because I was leveling up a bunch of Warframes earlier. I got a couple of the newer frames, Sarn Prime, and I don't normally stream this. It's just a game I play in my spare time mostly, but I wanted to, sometimes you gotta play what you like, you know? So, this is what I feel like playing, and sorry if it's not viewer's choice today, but I might hop over to Fortnite in a little bit once my excuse me, once my the day starts settling down a little bit, because I got a lot of people begging me to play again, and or play with them even. So we might have a little Fortnite group sesh. I'm not sure if it'll be with anybody, but if anybody is playing or wants to play Fortnite with me, um, I'm down. So just I'll repeat that a couple times because like I'm popping in and out of viewership at the moment. So um, as time goes on and viewership picks up, I'll throw it out there a little bit too. It always sucks when I switch games because I have to switch. I have to pull the stream and go start a new one and basically restart viewership. I've only got like 3 repeat viewers at the moment, but I uh, I was doing really good for a long time. But as soon as I took a break, man, I was having 600 plus views every stream, and then I took measly 10 to 11 days off for just general house cleaning and doing some stuff around, and I don't know, the algorithm made me pay for it or whatever, but I'm back to 6 to 7 views per stream, but lesson learned. So I'll just do my best to not go that many days again without streaming if I want to make this a possibility. Most of my viewership doesn't really like this game either. They're rooting for other games, Rockstar Games. Fortnite. I really want to give Warzone a shot. It just feels so much more serious than Fortnite. But I got a couple friends and my neighbors who are moving. They're really good people. So Fortnite's going to be how we stay in touch. So it might be that you guys will see me streaming with one of my buddies. So that'd be really cool if I can get some of my real life friends to stream with me. Or to even just play with me while I stream. That's fine with me too. Everyone always has online relationships, but it'd be nice to keep a physical, both, a real relationship and also online. Wait, how do you get in there? Man, gotta keep clearing my throat. It's merged up. Okay. Man, what's up right here? Okay, there's glass there. Herpaderp. So, okay. There we go. This is like, Each frame kind of has four. Well, each frame does have four abilities, and you kind of unlock different things. And this one's called Titania Prime, and is one of the better ones. You can basically morph into like a flying fairy, and then fly around and mess everything up. They get little infinity HP shields though, so that's why when they're yellow, they're technically invincible. Not sure what that is. Oh, why is it highlighting? I don't know. Open the door, I guess. Let the oxygen out, I think. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That's a free plug, McDonald's. Pay me. And just got you like 70 million sales with that. Oh, that's some fast shooting, Tex. Brrrra. No, they weren't. You can tell yourself they were to make you feel better, but they really weren't. This is an easy mission. Alright. Pa-choo-choo-choo-choo. My gun goes pa-choo-choo. Pa-choo-choo-choo. Oh, I should text Michael J. Gedling. Smidius. See if that dude wants to run some ish. Cause we don't get a chance to play often because of my Udonata Prime wings. Damn. I gotta go with the Udonata. Axe Stiletto Prime, I think, is all I need for the Stiletto, the Axe Stiletto build, though. I'm gonna text Mike. Excuse me. Fortunately, we didn't get the, what we were going for, but did get a rare drop. I also do need to do the mastery rank test, but I would like to um, bust open these relics that I got. So we got 2 more radiants to go. I'm happy. I'm happy that I get to stream this game. This is nice. I enjoy this game. It's a nice little I mean, it's a nice long term. By the way, I gotta plug my buddy's company. That's custom art right there. It says Northwest till death, baby. Northwest till death. And this is my buddy from high school, Curtis Ashby. His artist name is Cash. Check him out. He does art in street art in Tacoma. I'm so happy. Actually, the shirt was lost for a long time. Patron their website. I actually Paper Diamonds Clothing. I think it's .com. I want to say .com, but it's Paper Diamonds Clothing. Everything is done by hand, by him. So you're supporting a homegrown Washington business, homegrown Washington artist. I know the man personally, and he is a gem of a human. He has a very unique art style. He's made his own way in the art industry and the um, the clothing industry. So um, means a million if either today or somehow in the future my plugging. What is going on? Why? Who is it voting? It's me. I don't need to vote. I voted already. I picked this. But it would mean a million if even one I get him even one sale. So it would be really cool if you guys go to Paper Diamonds Clothing and you check out the artist Cash, Curtis Ashby. Everything on that website. I'm saying this as far as I know. It may have changed, um, but I don't think so. I think he does it all out of his own house. He hand makes every shirt, hand screen prints, quality materials. It is soft as I have they do everything. They do hats, beanies, mugs, camping cups. I mean, they do all sorts of kind of like, uh, I don't say it as an insult, but kind of hipster stuff where you're, you know, you're gonna get the beanies, the hoodies, I want to say scarves, maybe not scarves, but hood zips, just kind of that kind of up to date type clothing that they carry all that stuff. And like I said, it's enough of a plug, but I realized um, I had not supported him on camera yet, so I wanted to make sure that that was something I did, and I had been meaning to do. I should have done it on one of my higher view streams, but I'll make sure to plug him again as soon as I'm able to, and get that same viewership back. I'm gonna have to buy a couple more shirts from him too, so that right now I have two, and actually I bought one from everyone. My son has one, my girlfriend had one, so support him. Shameless plug over. So what we're doing here, obviously, is a little capture the war zone area. I don't think it goes any faster having another person on your node. So technically, I or this guy, I mean, he should have actually just gone to a different node, but this is B. Let's go to B. I love this because he can fly. Normal Warframes, I haven't seen another one that can fly. So as far as I know, Titania is the only one who can fly around. I'm gonna see. Oh, whoops. Yeah, no, multi-stream has not, or YouTube has not posted a comment yet. So the YouTube multi-stream doesn't seem too friendly to live viewership. Excuse me. I don't know why I drink soda. I don't really like it. In fact, I'm only drinking it now, I think, because I don't want to waste it. Because I already opened it and I don't want to be wasteful. But, first world problems. Got a fridge I can put it in. I gotta try to not stay in that form so because that's already maxed out for me. I want to try to get this gun leveled. Oh wait, the gun's already leveled up too, so I got my pistol then. This one's a pretty funny pistol. It shoots little globs that explode. Plop, 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 plop. And if you shoot them in the same spot, they get bigger. It's kind of cool. Plop, 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 plop. It doesn't do enough damage, but it's funny. It's also not very highly leveled up, so. Plop, 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 plop. Ploop, ploop. So I actually still have Red Dead 2 to play as well. So a couple of games I need to finish up. Well, I'm at 49% on Shadow of War now, so a couple more streams and I should be getting to the higher end of completion. I'm a uber completionist though, so I might I don't know if I'm gonna do it on stream, kind of like what I did with Final Fantasy VII. But um, which I still need to go back to, but my kid's got the dang PlayStation, so he's got a friend that I went to school with. His mom is my friend, and so his a friend his age. Jesus criminy. A friend of mine from high school, her son is friends with my son, and they play Minecraft together. Try that again. Jeez Louise. I got Wukong Prime. I guess I get a Zooge. I'm not getting lucky with this. I think I'm doing the right one. It should be an Axie. Okay, yep. Grand Prime, A9, A2, so Axie A6 is the only other one I need to do. Okay, wait. That's S6, and so he used S6, A6, A9. So this dude and I are we're rolling for the same thing, same ditty. My friends and I used to use that. Actually, let me do this too, real quick, so you can actually see what's going on the important side. Shadow of War is like the only game that your UI is on the left side. It doesn't happen often. Let's see. Go to D. Help these fools. Cause Titania is a beast. Jeez. They just keep coming. They're all coming from A. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. I'm getting it back. They just keep spawning on me. Chill out. Oh, they're going for C now, too. Come on. Where are these dudes coming from? Where are you at? Oh, is that someone? Alright, I need to get these. So this is bad tactics. Don't ever fight off a node. You want to fight on all the nodes. Never get caught between. Jump all the way to the node and start fighting, or don't fight at all. Neutralizing Charlie. Neutralizing many Charlies. Bring it on, Charlie. Pew pew. Oh. Go up to B. We got the Stug. Need to hit these dudes with the plat plat. Plat plat plat. One Honda. There we go. That's my relic. We gotta go to D. Where's D? Here we go. Oh, I thought I was a different frame. I was trying to use the wrong they're taking everything from us. They're taking B too. Plat, plat, plat. Plat, plat. Oh, snap. Lots of guys to plat, plat. Oh, no. Plat, 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 plat. Doesn't do very much damage. I really gotta level it up, but that's why I'm using it. Kind of letting them get away with it a little bit, because I can. Let's see, I should be using some different abilities, so I'm just not sure what her other abilities do. I only use the fairy, whatever it's called. What is it called? Razor wing. I only use razor wing. I don't know about. I can't scroll through them. Just gonna rattle off the names like I knew what I was talking about. Dang, this is taking a while. Got him. Hit him with the blat blat. Blah 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 blah. Oh, got him. Oh no, I don't think I hit him. Boom, I would've though. If he was right there, I'd have got him. Shit yeah. Shit yeah. I don't know if saying shit makes me family friendly anymore. Is that how this works? Somebody let me know. Because my version of family friendly. Why is it? Oh wait, I threw my gun at him. Is that what happened? I threw my gun. Okay, so I can shoot one big ball if I hold down the alt, but it looked like I threw my gun at him. Let's go up to the B if we're gonna stay. That way we'll be taking it over right away. Hopefully we get what we need right here. Atlas Prime. Nope. Trinity Prime. I'll S with that. I don't even think I have anything else for Trinity Prime. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna switch out my primary weapon real quick, so I'm getting. I guess I'll upgrade my death cube. Excuse me. Oh. This is actually my only prime. My only prime. What's it called? Like helper thing. So let's see what else has the highest ones. It's another one of these. I don't think I want to do that. I mean, it's 11 points though. We got 5. Let's hit auto fill. Still got 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's at least 5 there. Rare item drop chance. Increases max shields. Alright, well, these look like the ones that are gonna stay. So I don't think I need to put another polarization on it. But I can upgrade. I don't know, none of these really seem like worth it. I guess survival mechanics are always good. Oh snap, I just made myself broke. Uh-oh. Oh wait, this is one I wanted to have on there, because this is one I just got. Animal instinct. So if I pulled this, you want to attack the 600 damage to an enemy from 30 meters. Boost owner's shield by 100% when it runs out. Oh yeah, that one's nice. I think I'm just gonna roll with this. I shoot this one there, then this one there, then I'm broke. But let's see if I can upgrade 2 times. But I think I also have enough mods to sell a bunch. Get some more money back as well real quick. How much is that? 13k only. Poop. Looks like these are organized by how many I have. Let's just sell that. Alright. And then we can go back to install and pop those up a little bit. Oh, one more only. Oh, better than nothing. How many spaces do we have now on it? Oh, that's it. Okay, so we are gonna have to buy one of these, buy 3 obviously, and make this a minus. And that way, boom. How does this one? Yeah, this one's gonna need polarity as well, or polarization as well. Let's see what we got not leveled up. Tiburon. Is that a shotgun? Not sure. Tonkor. Grenade launcher. That sounds like fun. Enhancement creates prestige instrument. Let's try this one. This one was actually like a special one. A special item. Let's see if we can... Yeah, there's a few points on some of these other ones now. Level them up a bit. So I actually got another one of these. Where'd it go? Can we do by rarity? Rank? Because, I bought something that should upgrade melee attack. Oh, right here. Primed peer pressure. Or pressure point. So that's the one that I'll have to farm some money and see if we can upgrade these at all. Oh, yep, yes, I got this primed one too. This is gonna be nice for my outer space levels. Excuse me. So that's cool. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, primed rubido lining. That's awesome too. So I just have to get this. I mean, it goes from 5 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Having 10 ranks from 5 to 10 ranks. See, critical chance. That's pretty cool. All right, this is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to get my This is what that guy said was like super good. That was a really weird sound. I don't think that happened in real life. Like, I only heard that sound in my headphones. That's weird. 10% crit damage. We do puncture. Yes, we do. 10% attack speed. That's poopy. Do this. That's more damage. More damage. More death. Wait. Put that up. Temper blade. Need to upgrade a lot of that stuff. I'd be a lot stronger. Let's see if we're going to run pop open stuff. Let's be someone else for the day. Sonic attacks, acoustic duration, soundquake. Doing silence surrounds banshee and aura that stuns enemies and will limit their perceptions, attack to response to gunfire. 10 seconds. This is drain per second, so this is when you channel. Acoustic illusion, banshee, sonar power finds and tracks enemies. Oh, you know what? I just remembered Inaros does the tornado, and I'm so about the tornadoes, so gonna be tornado guy. Oh. Oh, yeah, never mind. He's not leveled up. Yeah, so duh. I was like looking at him like, wait a minute, something wrong here. Alright, so we got another Axie Sabotage. Axie A2. I don't know if the Akela Aklex is what I'm trying to get or why I upgraded those at all, but I need. So Axie A9. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, boss? Uh, Interesting. So it did show your YouTube comment, but it didn't show my YouTube comment. I'm playing this game. For most people, it's probably really boring, but I'm enjoying myself because I don't get to play this one often. Because I'm always streaming what other people want, so I'm doing me for the day. How you doing, boss? I just set up my stream so that I can stream on both now. So now everything will be backed up through YouTube. So I'm pretty excited about that. I can build my community in both at the same time. How's your day, man? Back in action now. We're gonna start killing stuff. Not as boring as sitting and looking through menus. Yeah, happy 4th of July, man. Everyone's outside doing shit. For some reason, I like relate 4th of July to like New Year's, where like people like why are people doing fireworks at 9:50? I feel like in my head, I feel like they should wait till midnight, but I'm like I don't think that's 4th of July at all. I think you just do it once it gets dark. So I don't know. Cause if you wait till midnight, then it'll be July 5th. So let's see. We got the Stug still too. Black, black, black. Got him. Still kind of getting in the house selling vibe, so we're looking around trying to find a place. I'm getting pretty excited about it, man. There's been so much drama in the neighborhood. Too much drama in LBC. It's kind of hard being MATT. Somehow, some way, I'm able to keep sitting here playing boring video games every single day. May I kick a little something for the Ed Man? The Rye Man? You go by Ed Man or Rye Man? The Rye Man or the Ed Man? We breeze till 2 in the morning. Party's still jumping. Oh wait, watch this. I'm a fucking tornado. Come get me. I'm a tornado. This is why I like this guy. The Rye guy. Got it. Doesn't really. May I kick a little something for the Rye guy? You gotta have something. That's not a good. That's not the flow's off. I gotta figure something else out. When I was younger, man, before I got hit in the head with a fucking steel beam, I used to be able to do cool shit like off the top of my head. I wouldn't say I was good, but I could make people laugh. You know, I used to be able to roast people real good on the Xbox mic, the Halo days. Those were the days. One of these days, Alice. One of these days. Reminds me of a book I used to read. I wanted to look it up now. I'm probably going to now that I'm like putting it back out there. But it was like some like little kids book where it's like one of these days I'm gonna open up a can of gotcha and send you airmail to the moon. Like a can of gotcha. Like what the fuck is a can of gotcha? Like old time shit was weird, man. It's weird that people like justify like old times were the best. No, they were weird, man. You're all weird. You did weird shit. You said weird shit. You're all racist, and it's not cool now. So you know, stop reminiscing about stupid shit. Like it wasn't even cool then. Like it's certainly not cool now. Like you just think it's cool because your life sucked and you don't want to admit it. Your generation's the worst generation. Look at this not kill this guy. Shoot him in the face like 5 times in a row. Glad I got this special gun. Doing all this fucking damage. Oh wait, this guy. Hey, come here. Hey, shoot, come here. Come here. Yeah, they're gonna kill me and I'm gonna die. I'm gonna have to revive. Come here. God damn it. Put it away. Get your camera. Take a picture. Oh, they took it. Nice. Good job, guys. Left Twix Matt 2020. Dude, so I actually get a lot of love for just the stream of consciousness, man. That's why I just like go. I know that it's almost like a character at this point to just like say it's like my whole life I've worked to like not to like filter myself because people are like, "Oh, people don't like when you just say whatever comes into your head." But then, you know, fucking 2020 happens and people are like, "Oh yeah, go ahead and just say the first thing that comes to your mind when you're streaming videos. That's how people like you." Like this dude that's I'm working with, well, not working with, he's just a friend of mine who happens to stream too, and he's really kind to me. So, um, but like that's like what he always says. That's the appeal of me. It's like the stream of conscious craziness shit. So I don't mind, man. I think it humanizes me to people. Because I think a lot of people have that shit that goes through their head, but like people say, you know, don't say that. So I don't know. Not winning yet, so maybe I can't say it works. I haven't even hit 100 subscribers, but this is what I'm gonna plan on doing. If it doesn't work, I guess I'm just doing this to the random people that stop by, and that's happy. I'm good enough with that. How's life going for you though, bro? What do you do? Anything big going on in the life of the Rye Dog? Do anything super sweet? Escape through the portal. Oh, snap. That sounds intense. Do it now. Oh, meltdown. Portal. Alright, I'm out, dude. You got me. Portal meltdown. Fucking emotional meltdown. If I don't make it out of that portal meltdown. Yeah, it's weird, dude. I'm like basically had to rebuild everything since I took like a 10-day break, man. And I went from like having 10 viewers when I logged on right away to I mean, I'm back to like 0 again. It's so weird. There's like some weird algorithm that just like funked my whole groove once I took a break, and I regret it. But I would like to move at some point and sell my house, and I think that'd be epic. Oh shit, you shot me. You shot me. Who punches someone in the ear? Oh, I forgot I'm a tornado still. Fucking tornado. Tornado man. It like tornadoes up all the items too. That's pretty funny. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm dead. I'm a dead tornado. Oh no. 3, 2, 32. Get to the end. Oh. They're not all here. We're here. Man. I still didn't get that item. This is terrible. Terrible, Rye man. Rye dog. Rye guy. Right on, man. Well, thanks for keeping me company. How long you got left in your shift? If you're able to talk. If you're not too, and you're just keeping the view on in the background, I appreciate that too, man. I was gonna switch over to Fortnite at one point, but I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm having fun. It's boring for the viewers, but I'm just rebuilding myself back up. So, like I said, I'm kind of just. Oh shit, that's the wrong one. No, no, no. I clicked the wrong one. I'm not even able to get what I want this time. Poop. Do you see my rock? Check this rock out. This is like one of the coolest rocks I've ever seen. If I was an otter, this is my pocket rock right here. I'll show you again in a second. Because it's all the way through. I don't understand how rocks work. And I'm going to sound real stupid and fucking stream of consciousness thought here. 2020 left Twix Matt, here we go. Um, like straight up, how are rocks made, you know? Like that's super crazy, especially when I show you this rock, man. It looks like a fucking like a turkey sandwich of rocks. Like it looks like a different and feels like a different kind of rock, like in the middle. So like I don't know if it was part of like a big shelf. Like it seems like rocks are probably originally part of a mountain to like break off and roll and but I don't get how they get to like a fucking beach. Like I don't know. Sounds like real stupid, but like I didn't think about it till I got this rock and I'm like, man, this rock is it kind of like makes me think. I know like obviously with erosion you can see the layers of rock in a in the the sedentary like layers of the rock, so you can kind of like know the age of what's going on. But that's in like a mountainside, so um, I want to find somebody who's like a geologist or someone who can kind of help me understand how a rock like this. I mean, even because it's all the way through. It's all the way through like that, and it's like it doesn't have a seam or anything. It's all like melded together. I know this is I'm talking about a fucking rock and how it's probably not interesting at all, but uh, everyone shut up about the rock, man. Um, it just makes me wonder though, man. That rock's probably like really friggin' old, and somehow it ended up that way in my in my jungle backyard, you know, like in the middle. It used to be a forest, like a swamp in the area before they renovated. So like I'm super curious, like how rocks like this. Obviously, it ended up into the jungle somehow, but there was like no There's no, I mean, I guess Mount Rainier's here. But I gotta figure out how rocks are made anyways first. But I'm pretty sure that's how, I mean, logically, you would think they probably break off a bigger rock and then somehow roll around or get deposited other places. Maybe shit hits the earth and it go launching. I don't know. I need a geologist. I need a Saul of the Moleman. I'm just a geologist. I don't know, guys. I'm just a geologist. Turns out I need a geologist. Do you have any geologist friends? Bonus points if they have rockin' 80s, 70s porn stats mustaches. Mushrooms. Meh. Freudian slip. I like stopped caring about this run when I picked the wrong thing. I'll use my little bolt action rifle to shoot these guys for no damage. Pya, yeah. Tink, tink, tink off his space age armor. I got this bolt action rifle. You watch out with your space alien armor. I'ma get you. Oh, wrong turn. No, they don't want to. You don't understand how multiplayer works. Nobody does anything extra to help anyone because that's the internet. Man, I wish I played like 600 hours of this game. I don't even know the lady. Ilara? I think that's her name. The lady that's talking the whole time. I'm failing. I'm failing. I'm gonna drown. I can't swim. Pew, pew, pew. Pew. Jesus Christ, man. Stop grabbing everything. Oh my god. Yeah, grab that one too, I meant. Just grab it all. Fuck it. And the guys who left me on the elevator. Fuck you. Super family friendly, by the way. Keeping it family friendly. Oh, what's up? Taking the elevator too? Oh, they all here? Haha. They had to wait for me. Take that, flames. Yeah, this rock's crazy. See if I can pick the right golden relic this time. I just need it to be the right one time. Let's go. A6. Pow. Can make two more after this, so we got, this is 1 out of 3 chances that we got left. I have to spend like 4 hours straight farming without a chance to get it. Yeah, I don't like this void portal one. This one's dumb. Should I wait for him or should I go? Fuck it, let's go. I'll send it back down for him. Because I'm nice. Go back down. Go back down. I can't send it back down, but I tried. Oh, you portal, you shielded. Wasted my old school rifle rounds. Uh-oh. You got something on your face, dude. You too, robot guy. Something on your face. Oh, this isn't good. I'm gonna die. I am basically dead. Awesome possum. Get 'em with the hurricane. Can't shoot me if you're flying through the air. But I'm gonna run out of energy to fly 'em through the air, and then I'm gonna die. Anyways, now it happens now. Oh shit. It happens now. I'm dead. Help me. Help me, Tom Cruise. Oh, why is my... I'm like a shell. Are these guys really not here to help me? What the shizzle are these kizzles dizzling? Super strength. Which power would I rather have? Super strength or fire breathing? Well, that's a tough one, man. Cause I'm like a weirdo, and I think in literally, if you had super strength, you could like never high five your fucking family again. You'd like rip their arms off. Like, I mean, you super strength is like if I have super control too, like super muscle control. I might go with super strength probably. Fire breathing is kind of one note, you know. You breathe in fire. I mean, it'd be cool. You can people would probably fear you, but like super strength implies that if you have super strength, it means you have hyper muscle density, which also means that I could probably get shot. Meaning that your muscle fibers are going to be, more densely packed and act as like. So basically, your muscles, if you had super strength in the literal sense of like what it would scientifically mean to have super strength, and not just like super strength, magic super strength. Um, there's way more benefits to like the literal scientific version of super strength than a magical version, because if you're like Shazam, and you get your powers magically, there's I mean, I don't know, I guess there's not an upper limit then either. If you had super strength in the sense of like you took the strongest man, like the fucking strength of Eddie Hall, right? Or I mean, I think Eddie Hall's won more strongman competitions than the Mountain, but you take someone like that, right? Just that kind, and then so that's like the upper limit of human strength, and you're saying super strength. So like you have to say like, well, I mean, the strength of 10 men, 100 men. You got to think of what exponential growth that is, and but that's like you need the control to go with that as well. Whereas the magical strength, I could look like fucking Butterbean with magical strength, and I don't know. Again, yeah, I'd have to know the parameters of magical strength. I don't know if I'd pick fire breathing either way though. I think the answer is strength. I just wouldn't want to kill everybody that I know by like accident because like you wake up one day with super strength and you don't realize, when you go to hug somebody that because you have insane muscle density or fibrous dense muscles, you crush someone on accident just by you mice and men the situation. That would suck. Cause you're gonna learn that one. You wake up and it's gonna be like the first person you see that you end up hurting, and then you're gonna end up hurting like 20 other people trying to figure it out because it wouldn't make sense. But like if you like walked into a room and a genie was like, hey, make a wish between these two things, I think it's you're not probably not going to kill anyone because it's magical strength and your control over it is probably like it's probably more realistic than what it would be if you had like literal physical, super physical strength in the scientific realm. But magic strength would be pretty cool because I guess I missed the idea that it could be the upper limit is with magical strength is non-existent. So with literal physical strength, you would have to define like, if half Thor Bjornsson is the upper limit of human ability. Are we talking about 100 of him and in a normal sized body, because then you'd have to think about like I watched a scientific episode on it. There's a really cool show called Vsauce. If you haven't watched it, I just enriched your life and you're fucking welcome. Um, but Vsauce is one of the coolest shows I've ever seen, man. They do super in-depth scientific reasoning of things that are kind of like pop culture-y. So they just do things that are stuff that we often probably talk about in the man cave, or like that question you just asked there, why you wouldn't want super strength, or the implications of things. It really makes me think of the parameters of questions now. So when somebody asks me a question, Vsauce has taught me to question what exactly are we talking about, because when you're talking about fantasy situations like this, there's so many more nuanced things that go into it when you're talking about the real world physics of a situation, the real world physics of a magical or a like a situation that's impossible. It's often more than what you think. Like if you had the ability to fly or something, you wouldn't think about the idea. So even if you fly, you don't have to think about you have atmosphere. So once you start flying at a certain speed or a certain height, you have to deal with the fact you still have to breathe. So I mean, yes, it would be cool to fly, but most of us are not, aeronautic scientists who can figure out, or aerodynamic scientists who can figure out, you might kill yourself or at least pass out the first time you go flying because you don't realize you go too high or you don't have enough oxygen or whatever. Super strength's a really easy one to mess up a lot of stuff if you don't have the same neuropathic control of your muscles, like the same super neuropathic hyper control, then you would end up. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else would be something. Breathing fire obviously has its downfalls. Fire breathing, so then you have to the parameters of that. Like, is it when you breathe? Every time I breathe, how much control do I have? How hot is the fire? You got to know the parameters. So it seems like semantical, but like if you create parameters, it's much more definable as well. So I don't know. I realized I just talked to myself that whole time, but I could probably do this all day. I like questions like that, though. They really, it makes you wonder what you're missing, like there's something about it that you're missing. And almost always, because science is effing crazy, dude. These guys just suck, man. What are we doing? Can we go? I'm gonna die again standing here because these turd balls don't want to fucking come to the exit. Which would you pick, Ryan? Please glorify me with as long as a written answer as I gave you a verbal one as well. If it's not as long, I cannot accept it. Thank you. Oh, fuck me. I can't get what I need. Yeah, which one would you pick and why? So, Superman has super strength. He can fly, X-ray vision, heat vision. I think the alternative, again, so with hyperspeed, you run the risk of once you reach a certain speed, you can no longer breathe. So you'd have to clarify, is it super strength just to kill it in competitions to make that money? Yeah, you definitely could, man. You'd be like the most average looking, uh, you know, deadlifter. I mean, and you could smash the record too. And you wouldn't even go in there and just be like, oh, I can bench 10,000 pounds. You would just go up there and be like, I'm gonna do 6 more than the world limit right now, or do like 2 more than the world limit, and do like the Eddie Hall. I just watched the Eddie Hall deadlift where he broke the deadlift the record, and he, god damn, when he went backstage, he was basically had a heart attack and a bunch of other shit, and he's like, don't film this, because he doesn't want to look like week. I mean, after he just broke the world record for uh, highest deadlift. So I mean, you just go in there and you try to look like that, and he made like I think he asked for $20 million from this sports supplement company to break the last year or the year before he did it. He's like, listen, you guys give me a film crew, and you give me 20 million guaranteed. I'll put your fucking company on my chest, and I'll break the world deadlift record. And a year later, they did like a documentary about it, and sure enough, he broke the record. And when he locked it out, man, he's bleeding out his nose, out his ears, and like he said later, he's bleeding out his ass. Like, and he's like, I could have done another 60. If I, he said, they said, would you do it again? He said, if would I do it again? And he goes, yeah, I'd do it again, but I'd add another 16 kilos. It's like, bro, you're insane. So like, if that's the dude, and then you're talking about 60 or 50, 10, even 10 of that guy, bro, 10 of that guy, even if you have the strength of 10 of that guy, and you somehow put that muscle density into a frame like yours or mine or just an average guy's frame, because Eddie Hall is a monster of a human being. He's like 6'4". I don't remember exactly. Don't quote me on the height, but he's over 300 pounds. And yeah, there's fat there, but god dang, that's a big ass slabs of muscle on that dude. And that's the size. How are these guys this fucking slow? Like, how are they this slow? Oh, they're going around looking for the caches. Alright, never mind. They must have a second quest. Um, yeah, but you could just go and do 1 pound more than him and try to find somebody who's like can compete with you and just keep drawing it out. And then like when they're like, after a couple years of competition and money making, just fucking blow them out by like 30 or 100. You can just put whatever you want in the end when you're like, all right, we're gonna really make my legacy what it is. I mean, you could join MMA, man, and I'm not sure how your chin would fare. What are your thoughts on if you had super strength? We should make parameters on this. What's your What's your parameters on this, man? Super strength. All right, we're going with super strength. Are we talking for fun? Are we talking? Let's do physical strength in the sense of like Eddie Hall's, right? Real strength, real world physical strength. So we'll set parameters. How many Eddie Halls are we talking? Right, like 10. Because if you're talking 10, that's superhuman, but like that's still I don't think if you're talking 10 Eddie Halls, that's not beatable by any normal human period throughout history. So I don't know, but if we have like a limit on that, you can kind of extrapolate a little more and have a little more fun with the idea when you're throwing it around. Because you talk about 10 Eddie Halls strength wise, right? In MMA, you would, I mean, as long as you can have the physical body of like a George St. Pierre with the strength of 10 Eddie Halls, because I mean, you're still gonna like the way science works. You gotta have, if you have muscles that can lift 10 times, 560 kilo deadlift. If you have muscles, they have to have a certain density, and I think at 10 you're probably running into past probably at like 4 you're past the realm of what's physically capable on an atomic level. Like certain atom you won't you're reaching such, you're trying to put so many atoms in such a small space that it's just not possible anymore. So like even though you're so if we're talking like 10 Eddie Halls, I wonder in strength. I wonder what that would translate to in their ability to take a punch, like to the chin, not to the body. Obviously, if you punched him, his body would be like punching a fucking steel wall because the density, atomic density, would be crazy. But your chin doesn't have your chin does not have muscles on it. It's got skin and bone. Obviously, I'm sure you clearly know this, but I wonder how that would translate because you would obviously have the tendons that hold your jaw in place, and knocking somebody out, the scientific process of that is your jaw clicking clicking a nerve ending, and or your brain's can also your brain is still soft tissue inside a skull. So even if like you could move super fast, man, or like you can do a lot of strength stuff, your brain and heart are still normal human stuff. So like Eddie Hall, like his brain, he had all that shit started bleeding once he started lifting that weight. If you have 10 of that, 10 times the muscle, you need to have a heart that can pump 10 times the blood. You know, I mean, there's so many other things that go with it. So like, if you only wanted like super strength, I'd have to clarify. Like, if you're talking to a genie, you know, wish for something, but it has to be within the reality. If you wish for super strength, you got to wish for super heart, super nervous system, super, you know, or like be all inclusive with what, or at least knowing, you know, in depth what that's gonna mean. Your muscles would basically be probably more dense than whatever the most dense metal is on the planet. I know the answer to that. I just can't think of it at the moment. I should know it at least. But I'm almost positive that's what they say. If you were to make 1080 halls, that's your atomic density. You might even not be able to walk because you'd be so dense. It would be like Logan. You know, you have except your muscles instead of your skeletal system would be one of the strongest and most densest metals on the planet. Strength of multiple Eddie Halls, build of Usman, die of the Rock, and control Clark Kent. Oh shit, hyper nice and zen. Although you they'd believe in aliens and that their time's being lost by alien abduction. So George is an interesting fellow, man. I would love to like sit and hang out with him and give him some mushrooms or some DMT or something and get him like real vibing, you know. Let George vibe with George, man, because some of the shit. I mean, when he was talking to Joe about some of that stuff, like I wanted him to go deeper, but you know he wouldn't because I mean, while he knows that it sounds weird, you could tell that he was reserved because he knows it sounds how it sounds, you know. And it would be nice to kind of get an idea, because I mean, oh wow, I didn't realize I was dying like that. Yeah, he's I wonder if he believes it's really aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck am I not getting this, man? This is ridiculous. I think this is the last thing I need is the Zooge Prime receiver though, so I should be able to make that. Um, man, that'd be a dangerous person. I mean, but not either. Nice. Kill him with kindness is like that would be the ultimate kill him with kindness. But I'll see if I can find the Vsauce episode on super strength, and I'm pretty sure Michael says that if you had super strength because your atomic density and the amount of like fibrous like muscle that you'd have to have, you would sink into the earth. Like every time you took a step, it would be like a small earthquake. Man, The Rock has such a big shoulder breadth too. Like Usman, I guess he's like kind of like a small rock. The Rock too. The Rock is like, I mean, that is a big fucking human, and Usman is like a small version of him, kinda. So that's kind of interesting. So it'd be interesting to see how your chin would transfer. Super strength UFC fighter versus instant transmission UFC fighter. Yeah. So instant transmission. Something interesting that I learned on Vsauce about instant transmission. Oh shit! No, no, no. Instant transmission. So if you were to um, have the power to instantly you would create a black hole, and there would be because you're instantly taking so much mass. Uh, in the laws of physics, there's nothing disappears. So if you're taking mass out of a space rapidly enough, you create an influx of atomic energy, and so it becomes a bomb in itself. I don't mean atomic energy. That's not the right word for it. But the rapid loss uh, of space creates a bomb in itself. So like everything you, because if you're gonna instant transmit, you kind of everything kind of has to go to, down to a point, and at that point it becomes like a singularity almost, in the sense that everything as soon as you leave that space and you condense down, even if you did it as like your body just like went like Dragon Ball Z, how you kind of do like lines, maybe kind of like a printer type thing, like you printed yourself out. You're taking mass instantly out of one space and introducing it into another space. And as the laws of physics go, as we know it, that would create an explosion. So like Nightcrawler, unless he was doing something, the only way to do like an instant portal is if you're doing kind of a dimension swap at the same time. So like your way to create a rift kind of like in space time. So you're cutting. I can show you with my hands in a second because I feel like I can explain it with my hands. It's the same idea of like why space travel and space time, like the light speed is not fast enough to get places. You need to fold space and time upon itself and um, create a point that way. So yeah, you can't. There is the universal constant, which is the speed of light, and so you can't, even with if you can go 99.999% the speed of light, it's not an efficient way to travel our universe as it's known and understood. Even to Mars, it takes like I think a couple years. I actually just watched Coherence. Very good movie. I believe they made a sequel, and I need to see that. But I did watch it actually like yesterday, I think. Um, yeah, very interesting. Yes, space. It's very much like that. Um, point. I forget what it's called. Point dilation or something like that. But yeah, it's the idea that you're folding space and time. That's the quickest way to move, and that's once we get to a point where we can do that. That's when you can be interstellar. You can't, as long as we're shooting mass out of one end of a jet propel. Eject is mass propulsion ejection propulsion. So basically, any type of propulsion where you're ejecting mass out of one end of something to go the opposite way. Space farting. um, but space farting. So as long as we're space farting around, you can only go 99% or less the speed of light, and even the speed of light's not fast enough. So we gotta figure out how to fold space time. That's what we gotta do. Forgot the point of that. Oh, teleporting. Yeah. So unless you're folding, the only way to do that and not kill everyone around you is to fold space time. Mystique powers or Animorph powers. I don't know if I know enough about the Animorph powers. Are they bound to one animal? So I think if I remember right, I don't think I read enough of them, but what I remember is when you become a certain age or whatever, um, that's when you get your powers, and your powers are like you're to switch, and you get into locked to one animal, I believe. Yeah. So my only question is, to what extent do you have? Is there any like magical element to it, or are you just like, are you able to speak? Are they able to speak like human language still, or do you have animal vocal cord? They have animal vocal cords and only function as animals. Because if that's the case, I think oh man, that's tough because I think it would be really awesome to be an animal, like legit, like have like I Matt can turn into a species of dog, and have that dog's um, you know, thought process, or I mean, or maybe even like their secondary natures, like you have a tendency to want to chase a ball when you're changed into a dog or something. That would be kind of cool because then you get an insight into a dog. I mean, birds are a little less interesting, but there are some smart ass birds out there, and being able to fly would be cool. Um, Mystique is also. I mean, like if you're just like trying to like vibe with nature, dude, you want to go with Animorphs. Okay, they could speak English, so they and so I don't get any introspection into the animal's life itself. If that's the case, I think I'd go with Mystique. Like if I'm trying to vibe though and and just chill and understand life though, and you can, find a way to get in, have insight, be the only human with insight into the life of Seth Rogen or a bald eagle. Oh shit, man. I don't know, man. Seth Rogen's rich. That's a tough one. I often think to the comment when Chris Rock says I wouldn't want to be him, like even though he's rich, like I might take that. I know it fucking sucks, dude, but like when you're rich, it's almost like you come to a different class of people. It's like it's like the same reason why Terry Crews can be the way that he is, you know? It's really weird. Um like how he can have such a weird opinion about the situation, um, which seems to should go against um, his nature. Like I'm a disabled person. It would be ridiculous for me to go out and say like disabled people don't deserve disabled parking placards. Like why should disabled people have that? Well, because I wasn't given the same opportunities in the society that other people were given, and that's why it's pretty. I don't know. It's so weird. It's weird to see his insight on the situation because before he was rich, he was definitely, I'm sure, subject to that. But like again, it's just an example of somebody that I think the industry gave them something, and they don't want to go against that industry. I mean, oddly enough, is also a man who filed sexual assault case against Hollywood. So or people in Hollywood, and I think he also had a suit for typecasting, um, where he felt he was being, maybe not typecasting. There's another word for it, I think, but he had a lot of complaints, about Hollywood. And the guy that's like standing Hollywood now, for him to be the guy that's standing Hollywood now, is just kind of wild. Because like it's now is the time where you could kind of speak out and you're supported, you know. If you can morph into if I can morph into anyone. Yeah, by the way, I'm not good at this. So when I'm answering, know that I'm actually super interested in your what you would do as well. So it should be known that the return question is there. Like I'm curious as well. Let me read what you said now. If I could morph into anyone, it'd probably be somebody super random, like Michael Phelps or Scarlett Johansson. So, but I might also choose somebody with incredible power and money. Dude, Elon Musk, it would be really fucking cool to be Elon Musk. Like, and have his, like, intellectual. I mean, it'd probably be scary as shit, too, because he probably knows the world's fucked. And he has to. I mean, intelligence is a curse in a lot of ways. Like, being a mindless sheep has its benefits, I'm sure. Especially not the, existential dread of, where you're going in the world and, your place and what you're leaving behind and all that. When you said Scarlett Johansson, what it reminded me of, I watched a movie with her the other day called Under the Skin. And I don't know if that's why you referred to her, but she played a role of an alien who was able to body shift, kind of, I think. I mean, it's really kind of a mind F of a movie. I don't know why I just censored myself there. I've been saying the F word this whole time. But it's kind of a mind screw, and at the end there, it's kind of an interesting movie, man. Yeah, not many movies leave me at the end being like, what did I just watch? But she does morph into things. He's such a heel and he's insane, but he's rich. He can do whatever he wants, so I'd make an affordable Tesla, give away half my wealth, and peace out on some island. Under the Skin is dope AF. Is that why? So is Under the Skin why you referenced her, or you just mean because she could probably get away with whatever she wanted? You know what I'm saying? Like, her husband's kind of not the best looking dude, aesthetically speaking. I want to say he's old or something. Let's see. Let's hit the interwebs real quick because we can do that. This is kind of what I want to do with my life. I kind of want to like just kind of like browse the internet with people. Scarlett Johansson. She got a husband or a boyfriend? Let's find out. Roman Duriak. I think this is a guy. He's kind of goofy looking. Oh, she was married to Ryan Reynolds? She's just hot and is a great actor. She actually is a really great actor, man, for sure. So, is she not with this old dude anymore? She might not be. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Oh, it's filed for divorce. So, she was with it. Look at this goofy looking fucking turd. Polished turd. She's like, you gotta polish up that turd. We gotta be seen together at the gallery. Whatever this is for. Oh, she's with Colin Jost. He's cool at least. He's funny. Can't knock somebody for being funny. I felt like she was with this old dude though. Like I don't see. Maybe this goofy ass picture is what I thought. He just looks like a donk, like uber donk face. Or like this one. He just looks like trash. Like I look homeless, but yeah. This is probably the one I saw. Like he looks like trash. I'm a homeless man married to Scarlett Johansson. Like when she picked him and once she said yes, he probably just didn't give a fuck anymore. Like I locked down one of the hottest chicks ever, so like why do I have to I mean he tried in the beginning very clearly. But he looked like he just gave up, man. Like like in the beginning he tried and then he was like I don't really want to shave. Maybe he hit that Britney Spears face, shaved his whole head and went crazy because he's married to one of the hottest chicks on the planet who really could I mean, she's got intimate scenes with like some of the hottest dudes on the planet, like the most famous, hottest like actors, and it's like, man, why is she with this dork? Yeah, Colin Jost is a way better choice. Guy just looks like a dork. No offense to Roman Duriak or whatever the fuck his name is, but he just looks like he gave it up after, I got the hottest girl. Why do I gotta try at life anymore? I gotta make sure that you're right about the Jost situation. I think I saw it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, since 2017. So she might have even left Dork Boy for her. So good for her. December 2019. Well, good for her. Cool. Yeah, she's a great actress. Forgot what else. There's something else I saw her in too that was really good. What was the point of that? He's insane. Elon Musk, right? I think his wife's old too. Is his wife old? Let's go back to browsing the internet. I think his wife's yeah. And that's how you know he's a G too. Or are they married? Are they divorced now? No, she's pretty. Oh wait, no, he's married. He's with Grimes. They just had a kid, named it like fucking Alphabet Soup or some shit. She's great. And Don John. Oh, that's with man Gordon Levitt. Yeah, yeah, he's a sex addict, I think, and she's like, bruh. Yeah, and she was acted across what's that movie she just did? I think it's with the dude, Kylo Ren. Man, what's his name? Kylo Ren. What's his name? Ben Solo. Yeah, of course. Ben Solo. Of course, that's his real name. Fucking Google, you're not helping me. Who's the fucking guy that plays him? I thought they'd figure it out. They'd figure out what I meant. This is why I don't Google shit. Don't tell Seth. Adam Driver. Jesus. Okay, Adam Driver. And there you go. See, they already know. The movie's called I'm okay. If I'm gonna do this, you already got me. All right, Marriage Story. That one was intense, man. I don't recall many specifics, but that shit was intense, bro. Like I feel like it's like how can you got to be a wild person to be able to pull that kind of an emotional range out of like your work as an actress and then go home like actress acting in a relationship with someone that's like intense like that and then go home and be like, "Oh yeah, like that there's no actual relationship there, you know?" Like you almost have to be kind of fucking crazy, especially when you're having like intimate moments with them on TV, like or on camera or in a movie, and that movie becomes big, and like everybody's seeing this, and you spend like 2 or 3 years shooting a movie where you're playing. I don't know how long did Marriage Story take to shoot? I mean, because that's an intense relationship. That's an intense relation. For oh well, okay, 47 days, but I guess it's probably an intense 47 days. That's a wildly short um, production process. That's crazy for a 2 hour and 17-minute movie. It's a pretty long movie for 47 days. There's like virtually no CGI or visual effects though, visual renderings that you need to do. So that probably makes the process a million times shorter. Trust me, my wife and I used to be actors. It's intense. Oh, you did. I read that you saw that you somewhere that you were acting. I think. Yeah, maybe previously. I think it was a conversation that I had overread. How was that? What was that like? Yeah, like I was just saying, man, I can only imagine the intensity of what would go into that. I think you said you did a commercial or two or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just trying to get an idea of what you had to do. It. Were you like, did you stage? Were you a thespian? I always got a lot of respect for people. I can do the emotional range, right? But like I feel like I'd be the dude that like halfway through production I'd like start to believe what's going on. Like whatever role I'm playing, I'd be like, is this me? Commercials, TV, and short film. That's crazy, man. Theater too. That's cool. Why'd you stop? Just couldn't find work or wasn't conducive to where you're at? I think I don't really remember where you're at either. I feel like you're either in California or out east. Can't remember, so forgive me on that one. But I feel like there was a time zone between us and it was 3 hours. So I think you're out east. That's my guess. But my memory is shit. I imagine trying to get acting work out east would be a little difficult. Probably not the greatest environment to try and create an acting career in. I hate soda. I don't know why I drink it. This is gonna be my last. Oh, I don't have a last one. That last one was the last one. Poop. Texas and not enough. Oh, Texas. So I think it's a 2 hour difference to Texas. Let's see. So I need an A6 and come on, man. What is all this fucking ad shit? A6 and A9. Another 20 or so. Marduk. What? Here, Chrome. this, it's not telling me the dang, planet that it's on. Here, Pluto. Alright, geez Louise, that took way too long to figure out. So, Pluto, where are you? How long till this dude leaves? I think I may need to buy something else from him. 7 hours, dang. I don't really want to commit to that. Not enough consistent money. So then now you're doing security. Sorry, I'm like trying to multitask. You're doing location security now. Basically just holding down the fort, hanging out with me. Is that what's up? Pistol kills drop rate in one open squad. Let's go. Probably gotta go here, well, soonish. I plan to do an hour. I've gone a little over that, but I also didn't get the item that I wanted, so I'm kind of annoyed and being petty. I need it. Yeah, security is chill, but the hours are ass. Yeah. Yeah, you have a child, forgive me, daughter or son. But my point is, either way, is that having off hours from the fam is pretty rough. It takes a toll after a time, and it's whack. So I feel you. My wife for a long time worked not only like uh, swing hours, but like in a different town, like an hour and a half away. So she drove for an hour and 15 minutes one direction, an hour and 15 minutes back, and then had to put in a full shift, at odd hours. So it's like he's at school and super weird. Would you rather? It's definitely not weird, man. These type of things that I think about, and like I said, that's why people they like to have these conversations, or like to listen to me have these conversations with myself or whatever. So it doesn't bother me at all. Thinking about Avatar right now. Would you rather poison bending or disease bending? Poison bending. Mm, gotta think of a motivation for each. What exactly would poison bending entail? Would that be like plants or like venom, toxin bending? What is poison in real life? I mean, with disease bending, we'll say it's viruses or bacteria. I can whatever the word is, realize. I can realize that in the real world. What would poison bending be? Keep in mind, I've only seen a handful. I know the premise of Avatar. I've not seen the Netflix series. I plan on watching it. So, if there's poison bending in there, where they explain the real world application of a poison bender, um, I don't know it. But disease bending would be pretty crazy if you could control bacteria. I mean, on a scientific level, that would be probably the most groundbreaking thing that could happen to humanity. I mean, if penicillin was the best thing, like scientifically the best discovery to help humanity, a disease bender would be seen as the same. Like, even if you're one person who can do it, like the only person, it would be revolutionary for the human race. I mean, provided you have nice intentions, If your intention is to, take over the world, I guess we have new world leader. Because if you're a disease bender and you want to take over the whole world, you could do that in literally a second. It wouldn't be more than a matter of however long it takes you to tell your diseases and bacteria to spread, and or you can take like one of the most common bacterias and just amplify it and change its intention and inflection on the human body, and boom, you have the whole world. Toxin, chemical compounds dangerous to us and animals. Hmm. So it's chemical compounds versus biological compounds, it sounds like. I think I gotta go biological, man, because I would have to know if you're in like a fight, right? Can uh can a virus or a bi can a virus kill a toxin, right? Like can a virus out some, or do they are they non-compatible? Like so if you were like how do they if you were to fight a disease bender versus a poison bender, um, what is like how do they interact with each other? I guess I don't have any idea how that, if it's even, they might not even interact. It would just be a matter of whoever could inflict their infliction first. I think is probably what it would come down to. I don't think um, uh, bacteria have any standing or effect on like a poison, like a toxin, a snake venom, or I mean, I can't imagine that there's a bacteria. I mean, there might be. There are extremophiles all around. So, um, but from what I know of, there's not a bacteria that. I mean, there are definitely bacteria that toxins are inert to, like that. So like so there's snakes. There's some animals like so like a badger can get bit by a fucking snake, and its blood doesn't coagulate. So um, the mechanism in that though I think is like some sort of plasmosis like in their blood. I don't think it has to do with a bacteria though, because if they have bacteria in their blood, that would be an infection. So it would be bacteria versus like imagine being one to either cause or cure the current COVID pandemic, but also being the one to create or destroy the ultimate war chemical weapon. Right, you could you would be the ultimate I mean your rule would be the world. You I think in either of those cases, if you can find a way to like magneto the fuck out of like snake venom, or even magneto, I mean like if you're even you could it's crazy to think of because like if you can use it like Magneto can and like lift it out of people's blood and shit. Like you can pull bacteria off people's skin, or you can make them micro and put them in people's blood. I mean, there's no limit to what you could do. So if it were me, I would take either one of those and I would make a one world nation. That's what I'd do. I'd be like, fuck with me. You'd have to kill them in their sleep. But then if you had ultimate control over bacteria and shit, I would just be like, yo, all bacteria is on guard once I go to bed, you know? Like, save my life, because you'd be everywhere. You could be everywhere if you had control over bacteria. You would know like what the people. You could be like a camera and just literally be on all surfaces, omnipresent. You'd be omnipresent. That would be crazy. Omnipotent. Wonder what's the difference between omnipotent and omnipresent? Maybe that's just like semantics of words. Not quite sure on that one. These guys really just bounce like that? This is dumb. I don't really want to do this farming right now. Alright, well give me a minute. We'll talk about it. I think I'm gonna hop off here. These guys are leaving me. Yeah, they left me. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, it sucks, man. Oh, and there's no more gems or and it broke. Okay, cool. Guess I'm done then. I don't know if my internet crashed or what the fuck's going on, but this sucks. Being everywhere versus knowing all. If being everywhere meaning I can inject myself at any place at any time, like I being there doesn't mean I can just see it. I can act in that place as well. I think I'd have to go with that one. Knowing all would be a very, very tedious existence, man. If you knew everything, I mean, could you imagine like knowing something like, the meaning of life or like um, the reality of like if there's gods or, I mean, the truth either way would be fucking. I mean, if the truth is there's God, right, or there's a God, or I mean, so we'll go three scenarios. If the truth is that there's one God, a single God, trippy as fuck, mind blown, life has changed for you for the rest of, you know, your whole life's different. And not to mention what that would create is people, if you're the only person who knows, you're gonna have people calling you a charlatan. You know what I'm saying? You're people aren't gonna believe you. You could know everything, and Jesus, you could know all and know what Jesus was. You could know Jesus. You could know his intention, what he really meant, and what he wanted to do, and all that. You would know if it was a real. I mean, if it was a guy or if it was a story. You would know if what he did was true or not. And even knowing that and acting in the greatest way that you could, in the best way for all of humanity, um, I shouldn't have done this by myself with this shitty frame. You are 1000% gonna run into people, well, no matter what the truth is, that aren't gonna believe you. They're unless you have some way to prove it. You are tortured by knowing the truth, and no one will believe you. I mean, there you might get some way to convince some people, but no one's going to know for sure. It's still even believing what you say is a matter of faith, right? So even if one person, if one man, if one human being existed and knew the reality, the truth of the universe, and they explained it all to me or you, and we say, "Man, I believe you." The reality is you're still. It's a matter of belief, and that's crazy. It sounds really dumb, but like the idea that it's a matter of belief versus knowing, and everyone else is not going to know. It would be like you would become the new faith, right? Your existence would be the new faith. Like you're the guy that if they believe you, which, let's say even 10% of humanity believed you, which, who the fuck knows, but maybe over time you can convince 10% of humanity, or maybe your words align with a certain religious belief, and they back you as their messiah, or whatever. The If the answer is that there are no gods, the atheists would probably align, or not atheism, agnostics would probably align behind you and say, well, this is our proof. If it's multi gods, then I don't know who would support you, because most people don't like that. But but if it's the Buddha that exists, or Allah, or God, or the Holy Ghost, or whatever, um, you're probably gonna have, again, you're gonna have detractors in those beings as well, because I mean, hopefully people would think that you have the truth, but again, it's a matter of belief. They don't know unless you have a way to prove it. It's not all proving, it's all knowing. So I don't know how you could find a way to prove what you know is fact more than fiction. How could you do that? That's what I would find particularly frustrating about being all knowing versus being everywhere. Knowing everything and not being able to share it with anybody in a manner of factual explanation is like, that would drive me crazy. I have a hard enough time communicating with human beings, like not knowing shit. If you knew everything, fuck. I mean, I guess if you came with the idea of having like endless patience too. I mean, if you're all knowing, you probably have to have quite a bit of patience, I would think. Um, goes back to the strength thing. What goes with it. You gotta be able to keep your sanity if you want to be all knowing. So he gets a real life Batman or real life Red Hood. Um, I think the answer objectively is Red Hood, bro. Or a Punisher. Give me a Punisher. Frank's a little wild, but he would clean up this fucking Wall Street situation like yesterday. There wouldn't be corruption in politics. Yeah, I see your Red Hood and up you a Punisher. Raise you a Punisher. Punisher. I think Red Hood would be more fitting. I think you got it right. Um, because I think someone's texting me. Oh hey, it's one of the people I'm. Oh man, she one of the Filipino families that I am talking to, and I'm trying to help raise money for. Just messaged me and told me about her friend who she said divert the money from me and give it to your ghostwriter. Give it to her friend. So that sucks. I can't really answer right now, but I'm gonna see if I can find some people to donate them some money, man. A few dollars goes a long way in the Philippines, and I can't keep giving everybody money, so I'm gonna do my best to try to help them out. But yeah, see your Punisher and raise your Ghost Rider, right? Man, I think if Ghost Rider was to look and give the penance stare to Donald Trump, it would be like looking into the eyes of Thanos. Who was it? Was it Thanos that Ghost Rider did the penance stare, and he's oh, no, maybe it was Deadpool, but that doesn't. Trump's not Deadpool. He's not nearly funny enough. Um, I mean, he is a joke, but he's not comedically. His comedic timing is shit. Uh, Deadpool's got a much wittier sense of humor than Donald the Orange Trump. Um, Yeah, we need somebody because I gotta tell you, man. I think lawmakers. I'm actually on camera. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm not suggesting anybody do this. I'm just saying what I think would happen to politicians if this were to happen. So I'm gonna be very clear about this. If this were to happen, and a man like Frank Castle or the Red Hood. I think Red Hood is a little more lawful. Obviously, he does things lawlessly, but he's more of a chaotic good than Frank is more of chaotic neutral. And I mean, and then Ghost Rider would be probably be chaotic evil. So it's a slippery slope. You need somebody like the Red Hood to come in and set the example for what I mean, he's probably gonna have to. I mean, okay, again, I'm using the improper words. If this were to happen, they would probably have to start somewhere with making a pretty bold statement, uh, and then you know, give give people an opportunity to amend their actions, or you know, they will be on the list of amendments. So I think Frank Castle or a Red Hood would be a good fit because they maybe you just need to get rid of the whole batch. Maybe the whole lake is bad, but um, if it's not, I'm not down for the blanket hurting of innocent people. But I almost feel like if you're in politics, you kind of had to do some dirt to somebody to get there. So um, but especially in Washington, you're a political pundit in Washington. You're a lobbyist. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean you have to do some pretty crappy things to end up being a lobbyist in Washington and work your way up through that system. So um, I kind of I feel for them, but I mean you make your choices in life, and granted it's a very lucrative industry, and they're, you know, maybe just taking advantage of what, get ahead where you can. But at the same time, if there was a Frank Castle, man, the last thing you'd want to do is be a dang lobbyist or, super PAC or one of these hyper corrupt uh, political lobby organizations where they break all and moral codes for sure, and borderline legal codes, and in some cases absolutely legal codes. But I mean, Frank and the Red Hood would 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 they'd handle that pretty quick. So I think the Ghost Rider gets a little crazy because it goes back to like you could have done small bad things in life, and that's where Frank is kind of like borderline chaotic evil as well, because the way he handles business is almost um uh un what's the word, un forgiving, right? So if you do something that may be perceived, it almost is like what he perceives sometimes to be bad is also objectively not that bad. So that's like the interesting part too, is Frank's morals are subjective to Frank. And so Frank, that's where you're going to end up with a lot more dead, potentially innocent people than you would with somebody like the Red Hood. The Red Hood's going to go to the top and try and work his way down. Frank's going to go from the bottom and work his way up. So I think that's probably a good explanation. Is one works from the bottom up and the other works from the top down. Control the ant population or the wasp population. I think ants outnumber wasps like 300 to 1. I'd have to look that up. Let's look that up. That's a good question. How many ants are there compared to wasps? Nah, I don't think people compare this shit. How many different? I don't. None of these even are close to what I asked. How many ants are there versus wasps? Now they're gonna end up having ants fight wasps. How many ants here are there? Boom. 1 million billion ants. Okay, how many bees are there? In the world in 2020? 2 billion bees. Yeah, I'm gonna go with ants, dude. 1 million billion versus 2 billion. 1 million billion. And if you were to put a brain on them, like give 1 million billion ants a direction and a purpose, fuck, and they can actually lift like I know at one point they said like 100, and maybe it's 10 times. I think it's 10 times their weight. Certain ants can lift more than that. But like the standard, like little ant, black ant or red ant or whatever, can lift 10 times its weight. And if you were to find put a hive mind to that, man, and a unified purpose and a goal, I I wonder what Vsauce would say about that. Like, what would happen if you could control? I mean, bees would be cool because you got to think you can control pollination. You could stop it. You could do a lot good for the planet if you could did bees, repopulate, all that. I've read that bees make up for 30% of farming agriculture. So I mean that would be cool. The social implications of being able to control bees would be cool. But 1 million billion ants. That's so many ants. That's so many things to like just put to one purpose. I'd have to do a little more research, but uh, preliminarily, I'm saying ants. If you had a lot of bees, though, I wonder if I don't think there's enough surface area on your body for bees to be able to lift you though, so you could fly. That would be like the one thing too. They'd be like, oh, I could save the world population. Like famine, what the fuck am I trying to say? The world famine, problem, and I can fly, you know. But if I don't think that you have enough surface area to on your body to have bees lift you off the ground. Because they did Vsauce actually did one about mosquitoes and what it would take for mosquitoes to um, bite you to death. And there you don't have enough like at once. Like if every mosquito, just how many mosquitoes bit you at once would it take to kill you? And there's not enough surface area on your body, even if like I mean, even if you exponentially uh, grow the skin, there wouldn't be enough space on your body for them to drain all your blood at once. So there's a mosquito one. I'm not sure with ants. I think ants would. I don't know, man. What happened if a million billion ants bit you on every surface area of your body at once? It'd probably hurt. I don't know if you'd die. If they might put a small amount of toxin in your body too, certain ants. So it would depend on the ant. If they had a certain amount of, if there's an ant that delivered like a local toxin, and you took that on every surface area of your skin, you'd probably be in some shit. I'll do some research. I think ants is the right answer though. What about you? I think that's the answer. It, yeah, there's a lot of ants, man. That's just so many ants. That's 2 million versus a million billion, or 2 billion versus a million billion. Like that's so many exponentially mores. I'm not good at math, but it's like it's a big number. A lot. I like turtles. Why did this guy even join if you're just gonna fucking leave right away, bro? Like, I kinda need your help. There's a gajillion monsters. Alright, this guy sucks. I'm out. I'm done farming. I'm gonna log out probably. Friggin' douchebag. Actually, I should probably get another one. Let's see. What did they drop me? What is he? EMP the entire world for a day or make the sun go dark for a day. Well, EMP, even if you do it for a day, everything's fried anyway. So if you EMP for a day, you EMP for life. So sun go dark for a day. Sun go dark for a day. We're all fucked anyway. So either way, you're fucking the whole world. Um, Vsauce did a video about what if the sun went dark for 60 seconds and the world would be fucked then already. If the sun went out for 60 seconds, we would be fucked. Like there's no coming back. It would cause irreparable changes to the planet and like how it aligns with the fucking or at least like the moon and the tides and shit. Not alignment in itself, but it has to do with like the sun cycle and patterns of day and sleep and night cycles for animals. And there's just it's so crazy how many things get fucked up if you were to just turn off the sun for 60 seconds. So if you did it for a day, you're fucking. There's virtually no way anything's gonna live. If I know what happens for 60 seconds happens legitimately for 60, then yeah. Either way, I don't think there's a right answer to that one. You're fucking it. I think if you EMP them, you just set people back and you have intelligence. So I guess EMP. That's at least a reparable or live throughable situation. Animals will still exist. Agriculture will still exist. You would have to go back to hand watering certain things. We would still have plumbing. Um, we would have to hand plumb a lot of things though. Like plumbing at the local source would work. You would have to worry about the hydroelectric dams, or sorry, the power stations, not the hydroelectric dams. Uh, which would you rather invent? Time machine, weather machine? Oh shit, man. Again, teleportation. It depends on the method of teleportation. Um, I think the answer is teleportation. If you're using a version of folding space-time. If you're using any other form of teleportation, either via molecular deconstruction and reallocation, or through wormholes or spontaneous disappearance, or so right, that's deconstruction. Then that would be molecular deconstruction. As far as I understand Star Trek, the way their teleporters work is they when they jump in and they say beam me in or beam me up or whatever, um, it takes their body, and once they enter the beam and they activate it, it takes an image, a DNA image of that person, and it breaks it all down, kind of like Willy Wonka style, and they deconstruct that image and reconstruct it on an atomic level at the place where they're looking to reconstruct. So in that way, in that sense, teleportation will work as well. However, you also have to understand if you're doing that, you're virtually creating and killing a version of you every time you do that, because again, you can't take atoms from nowhere. So the delivery method of the atoms is also important. So all those atoms have to go somewhere, and they travel at some speed in some realm of space-time. So um, how they get there would affect. I mean, there's so many nuanced things. That's the superior form, one of the two superior forms of teleportation that actually can work, but also the one I think that adds more questions than possibly answerable ones. So let's see. So time machine, the implications of that would be very bad on a. So that's actually probably a longer answer. Weather machine though. Let's go with weather machine. Um, Once you have, like, my problem with something like a weather machine is once that technology exists. Say that you're gifted, or see, invent. So you said invent. That means that there's some sort of a blueprint and somebody else can make it after I've made it. Um, so if I invent a weather machine, um, that means that unless it's something that I created and nobody else knows how to make, that you have basically started World War III or doomed all of humanity. Because once you give one country power over weather, you're essentially creating a one world superpower. Um, Other countries would not be able to compete with, say, any country, the United States, if I were a Russian citizen, with any country, no matter how big your army is. You could have the most people. I could be the country of Matt, and if they don't know that I have a weather machine, I could take over the whole world. I could systematically have tornadoes and weather patterns destroy whatever I want, without any sort of, which is a little bit of like Google search knowledge. So it really wouldn't. You could just have a tornado go around your fucking house all day, so the government can't come fuck with you. Are you kidding me? Literally, just make a tornado like whirl around your house, like internet. Yeah, you have internet service. Like no one, they couldn't do anything to you. Can you shoot? Yeah, you can't shoot bullets through a tornado. What happens if you shoot a rocket in a tornado? It probably blows up. What about a tank round? I gotta figure this out. What happens if you shoot a tank round into a fucking tornado? I don't think that's something anybody's ever done. That'd be so stupid. Like, hey, there's a tornado warning. Get in the tank. Let's shoot it. Man, somebody needs to do that now, though. I'm curious. For science. Um, shit, I need that in my life. I need to see a tank shoot a an F5 tornado. Kind of gonna need that. I'm gonna do this one while I'm finishing up this conversation. But so essentially, with a time machine and with the weather machine, you're creating a maybe with teleportation as well. You're creating a one world government, which I believe needs to happen, but it has to be run by the right person. Like if I was like, listen, I'd be like, dude, I have a weather machine. If any of you guys want to fuck up, I'm fucking all your shits up. You know, I'm not even doing it. I'm lightning striking the leader, right? I'm not even gonna kill the fucking uh, the citizens. I'm gonna do a precise lightning strike on anybody who wants to act a fool. You know, like you could just do crazy shit, man, and you could demand like civility from people through acute weather violence. You know, Time Machine is just it's such a like you enter into the realm of so many paradoxes. We would have to discuss what kind of time travel you're talking about, under what mechanism it's being done, because that has tons of implications on the outcome of choosing that. So like time travel in itself is not. I mean, if it's a safe version of a time travel machine, I don't even know what that would look like, or how you because if I created a time travel machine, that would mean, and then once that becomes mass produced, I mean, depending on how timelines work and if there are multiple realities or outcomes of things, then I mean, there's so many implications to that answering being somebody creating a time travel machine. Like that's so weird. Um, yeah, time machine would be. I don't know, man. I think you would have to have a different understanding of physics than what we have now to do that though. Like you'd have to learn how to operate in the fourth dimension or fold space time. I think that's how you end up science is going to end up discovering like time travel though is via the fourth dimension, you know, or like or folding space time. Because if you look at dimensional science and existence, I'm not really sure what to call it, but um, the way I forgot what I was saying. Dimensional science. Yeah. Coherence, converging realities, all that shit. Multiple timelines, because once you have time travel, then you open up the bridge for timelines, and I think that goes into loop quantum gravity, um, where things are a cycle and everything goes back to like I think loop chrono means that it's the big stretch where the universe is expanding out from a explosion point, and once it reaches um, a certain expansion distance from its convergence, that it will start pulling back in and doing like a reverse explosion, like a big reverse bang. So yeah, I don't know. Time travel is a crazy thought, man. It's not even one of those things like when you say time travel, it's not just time travel. It's like what version of time travel, you know? Like what version are we talking about? Because this is a way more complicated question than just time travel. Teleportation's a pretty tough one too, because there's multiple variants of that if not sussed out when you make your wish to a genie or whatever, you're basically gonna undo life from the earth. Do you think an army of beasts unbreakable army of beasts could defeat an army of Spartans? So unfortunately, I had the last version of that movie spoiled for me. So I know that he gets killed by a couple of I think it's maybe 3 rifle rounds. Which is better than Bruce Willis because he got drowned in a goddamn mud puddle. So, um, Yeah. So Beast was obviously stronger than see, because the thing is too, what really killed me about Unbreakable is that M Night Shyamalan, if he wasn't such a fucking like physicist, ignorant in the realm of physics, the Beast and Bruce Willis's character, those bullets wouldn't have done shit to him. They wouldn't have been shot. I mean, Bruce Willis, I guess, could have been drowned, but the Beast should have been bulletproof. If he's able to bend steel bars, you would have to have the muscle density that's like that would be bulletproof. Like we were talking about earlier, you just would have to be bulletproof. If he can rip steel bars apart and run, you know, across a football field in 4 seconds, the muscle density on that dude would be bulletproof. So them killing him with a handful of rifle rounds is one of the dumbest things, aside from drowning Bruce Willis in a fucking mud puddle, that I could have thought. Because if you're gonna give them superpowers, man, like that superhuman strength we're talking about, then all rules of physics apply still. We're not talking about magic where you're outside the realm of physics. If you're talking about somebody is that strong naturally, you have to give them the muscle density of somebody who would be that strong, and that's where he failed like terribly. So your answer, our beasts would be unarmed, and if we're talking about the beast as M Night Shyamalan depicts them, or the beast as in what I just depicted, because M Night Shyamalan's beasts probably lose to an army of Spartans because the army of Spartans have weapons, and the beast is a fucking poorly designed character by a guy who knows nothing about like real life bio mechanics and physics. So if we were going with a real version like that is on screen, then I'd go with the Spartans probably, especially if they had arrows. If you could shoot bows and arrows at the beasts, you're gonna thin their herds on their way there. They have really good tactical formation where the beasts fight as more feral, aggressive. So I think provided the Spartans are armed with, although I don't think the Spartans in the movie had bows and arrows, so they might have had slings like lance slings or spear slings, but I don't think they had bows and arrows. I'd have to go back and check. I think if you take away the bows and arrows, a tactical battle between an army of feral um, beast James McAvoys would be a pretty tough fight. But if they have swords and shields, the shield I think would probably make the difference. I watched a lot of matter of fact, I want to watch that show again where they put two armies about Mary, what's the name of that show where they would do two armies on Spike TV? They put two armies against each other and see which one would win. No, it's not versus. It's some type of thing like that though. But they would have like medieval weapons specialists. Yeah, I'll have to check it out when I before or when I stop or whatever. But I'm gonna watch it again. But I'm pretty sure I remember watching that in those battles when they'd recreate it. Anybody that had a shield, they had an exponential chance of winning in a heads up fight in a one-on-one battle. A shield makes a huge difference. So if the Spartans are just armed with like a sword and like standard, I think Spartan get up would be a short sword, a shield, and a lance. Uh, so they'd have their lance and shield to begin with, and then have your sword sheathed with it, so you have alternatives. But I think that the standard Spartan, if that's the getup, I think they'd probably come out like a 60% victor. They'd probably still have about 60% of their people left after killing all of the beast. Swords make a difference. Knowing that bullets hurt him, pretty easily means that if he got stabbed in the lung, in the heart, with a sword, you get a through and through wound with a spear or something, he's fucked. Especially through the heart or through the lungs, they would die out. You get one through the lung with a spear, he's gonna die out pretty quickly. Might fight for a little bit, but more death throes than anything. Might have a couple minutes to kill you before he bled out or something, or didn't have enough oxygen to provide his heart or brain with a way to keep going. Next question. Which Greek god would you want to be real and under your control? Deadliest Warrior is the show. Nice. Yeah, I want to watch that. I don't think I watched like the whole last season. Which Greek god would I want to be real and under my control? Kronos is kind of a savage, but I think if he was under my control, Kronos would be the answer. I think he's, if I remember right, he is the embodiment of all of the gods together, because he's the father of them all, and he ate them all, and then they came back up out after Zeus fed them a rock, or his mom fed him a rock, and then the only reason they beat him, the only reason why Kronos was um, defeated is because they outsmarted him, and he had an ego, and they played against his ego, thinking that you might be strong, but you can't beat us at this, and they would put, like, I think if this is what right, they would put like the Greek god of strength in a test of strength against him, and they would best him in that one area, and then he went on to do that. I think that's right. I might have to watch that again or learn about that again. It's been a while since I've done Greek mythology, but my answer, provided if what I'm saying is true, would be Kronos. Hermes is pretty cool. I've always liked Hermes. I like that he's fast. Forgot the name of the other one. There's another name for the speed. It's not a Greek god. It might be, but the another god of speed. It was one Prometheus. I think that's Prometheus. I think that is Roman, right? Prometheus is Roman. Let's check that out. I think he's the god of speed. Is Prometheus the god of speed? Roman god of speed? I'm like letting these guys do all the work too and just talking. It's funny. I hope this ends up being a nice video for people to go back and just watch for interesting content. Again, stream of consciousness. That's what people like, I guess. Say whatever comes to your head, even if it's crazy as shit. I guess especially if it's crazy as shit. 2020, man, being crazy is in. People people love watching the meltdown. Crazy on camera. Stub your toe every 6 feet. Walking, I always have your ass itch. What the fuck? I'm like applying my sense of logic to that too, where I'm like, okay, if I stub my toe every 6 feet, my toes are gonna be fucked up after like, is it one toe too, or am I stubbing every toe? Like every 6 feet, it's a different toe. Fuck, that would, ugh. I think I'd take itchy ass over every other step. 6 feet is you stub your next toe. Fuck. Shit, man. I guess maybe I would take the stub toes and just get a wheelchair. Or walk 5 feet and then wheel it and then never walk the 6 foot. You'd have to, that's where you have to suss the semantics, because itchy ass would be terrible. Like, I can't stand when, like,
when you have an itchy ass and like you're clean. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine under what circumstances your ass would always be itching. Like fuck. What real world circumstance? Or is it just magic? Magically, your ass is always itchy. And also, how itchy? Just like a little itchy? And is it like your ass cheek, or like the hole exactly? Is the, is the asshole itself super itchy? Like super itchy? Man, that would be miserable. And how hard am I stubbing my toes? I need I need clarification before I can give you a uh, not sure the word, but an answer of some sort. I don't know if it's a logical answer. We're talking about itchy ass or stubbing your toes every 6 feet, but uh, it's not educated. What's the word? There's a word for it. Can't think of it. Educated answer would work, but yeah. Needed more information. How itchy is my ass, and is it the asshole or the cheek? Different toe each time, like you hit on the table, and just crack of the ass. Okay, crack of the ass isn't so bad, as long as it's kind of itchy, like a little itchy. But still, I think I'd take stub my toes because that's a choice, right? You have a choice of whether or not you want to walk. It's 2020. You can figure out how to get it. You can roll around, for fuck's sake. There's no way around an itchy ass. I gotta go with stub my toe. I deal with pain anyways every day, man. I could deal with the pain of acute pain of stubbing my toes, but not being able to shower and get rid of swamp ass would be like the worst existence ever, man. That would be the worst. That's a good question though, man. Because some people really hate stubbing their toes and don't mind their ass itching, but like, I don't know. I think most people would probably say stub their toes. But I mean, there are some people that are just gross and don't give a fuck. Alright, man. I am gonna have to go. I need to get some food and lay down probably. But thanks for spending time with me, bro. It was really nice. Really crazy, weird since you popped in, the algorithm didn't send me another viewer. It's weird. So I've had streams like this where like I have one person pop in and normally there's a bunch of other people before my drop off at least. I've had up to like 26 viewers. This is the first time I've ever had one viewer, and I've never had after 2 hours or hour and 45 or however long you were here. They didn't send in one other viewer. It's weird. And I've had views where I've had over 1,200 people come in, you know? So the same algorithm that gave me 1,200 one view or one stream literally gave me one this stream. So I don't understand the algorithm exactly, but I really appreciate you stopping by, man. It was nice talking to you. Sorry if I didn't give it back enough for you. You should have been returning the question like with your opinion. I kind of broke them down in a way though that maybe didn't leave a lot of choice maybe in the end. I think it's kind of a foregone conclusion with the details I went into, but I appreciate your presence, my dude, the Rye guy. Thanks, man. I'll catch you tomorrow or another time. Have a good night, bro. And take care at work. Text me if you want.